Good evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
Yes, please. Last day we have seen the people development and environment part 1. So the continuation of last day class, the part 2 of people development and environment. So now we'll see. So today's class is related with the global, local environmental issues. Then what is environment? So what are the compositions there in environment? Then pollution. So these are all the main aspects we are going to cover in this class. So what is environment? Okay. Before going to see about the environmental issues, so we need to know about what is environment. So the environment, okay, the environ, it's a French word which means surrounding, surround, okay. So it's nothing but environment means we are in our earth. So around what are the circumstances or what are the things, okay, what are which will be biotic or abiotic. So what are the things surround us? That is environment. So the World Environmental Day. So this is important day that is celebrated every year on June 5th. So June 5th of every year, the World Environmental Day is celebrating. But this World Environmental Day was celebrated since 1974. 1974. Okay, so during 1972, in the United Nations General Assembly, they have established this World Environmental Day. That is on the first day of Stockholm Conference. First day of Stockholm Conference. So on that, so they have decided to celebrate this environmental day, okay, World Environmental Day. So every June 5th. So this year the theme of World Environmental Day of 2020 is time for nature. Time for nature. Time for nature is the theme. So with a focus on its role in providing essential infrastructure that supports life on earth and human development. So this is the theme, time for nature. So this is the theme of World Environmental Day 2020 on June 5th. So in the first World Environmental Day, that was during 1974, the theme was only one year. Only 1 year. So that was the theme. Only 1 year was the theme of first World Environmental Day on 5th June of 1974. Okay, so the word environment in come from French word environ. Environ means surrounding. So here we can classify the environment into uh, two major categories, that is micro environment and macro environment. So what is micro environment? If organisms, like if we are at our room, so what are the things around us? Okay, what are the things around us? That is micro environment, micro level. Okay, so macro environment means macro environment means that is the extra, wait. So that is the external factors, which includes the external factors around us. Okay. So beyond us, what are all the things, what are all the situations or circumstances available? So that is macro environment, okay, at global level or national level. So that is macro environment. So again, the environment is classified as the physical environment and biological environment, then man-made environment. Okay, man-made environment. The physical environment is nothing but abiotic factors. Abiotic factors. That is, so lithosphere, hydrosphere, and atmosphere. What it is? So let me see in upcoming slides. So these are all the spheres. These are all the things in physical or abiotic environment. Okay, so all these things occupies the environment. Actually, the environment the environment contains constitutes with four major spheres, that is lithosphere, hydrosphere, atmosphere, and biosphere. So these spheres. So let me see what it is. So in case of biosphere, so all flora and fauna will come under biosphere. Okay, so that is biological or biotic factors, biotic environment. So the man-made environments are economic, social, cultural. All these aspects comes under man-made environment. Okay. So no need to worry. In this aspect, the man-made environment, we no need to worry. So here we are going to concentrate only the physical and biological environment. So here, these are all the four major environmental constituents. First one is lithosphere. So first one is lithosphere. The solid earth. The solid earth is called as lithosphere. Okay. The solid earth is called as lithosphere. So what are all the components? Components are there in this earth. We all of us know. Soil, earth, rocks, mountains. So plus will come. Okay. So our earth, okay, so our earth has three layers. Earth has three layers. That is, first one is crust. First one is crust. What we are seeing. What we are seeing in the upper portion. In the upper portion of topography. Okay, topography or upper portion of the earth, our living earth. That is crust. Okay, the second layer is mantle. Then the last layer is core. So these three layers. So in depth, what are all these layers? All those things let me see in the subsequent slides. So here lithosphere means solid earth. Solid earth is called as lithosphere. Okay, lithosphere. Then the second one is atmosphere. Atmosphere. Okay, so the gases around the earth. The gases around the earth, like the in Tamil it will call us Valimandalam. So the gas substances above the earth. Okay, so on the earth, on and above the earth, the gas around the earth is called atmosphere. So the height of atmosphere will be up to 2000 kilometer. So height of atmosphere is up to 2000 kilometer. So the major gases persist in our atmosphere is nitrogen, the foremost the prime gas in our atmosphere, that is nitrogen. Almost 78% of gas is nitrogen. Then oxygen. Then minor gases are argon, carbon dioxide, ketone. So those gases are trace gases. So let me see in details about the atmosphere also in the subsequent slides. Then we are moving to hydrosphere. Hydro means water. Hydro means water. Hydrosphere. So all the water bodies, ocean, lake, stream, pond. So all the water bodies. Okay, all the water bodies comes under this hydrosphere. Actually, our Earth, okay, our Earth is called as a blue planet. Our Earth is called as a blue planet. Blue in solar system. In solar system, the Earth is called as a blue planet. So why? Because it covers nearly 75% of the Earth's surface was covered by 75% of the Earth's surface was covered by water. That's why our Earth, okay, looks like a blue color. So that's why. So the Earth is called as a blue planet. So the water covers around 75% of the Earth's surface. So if you take the ocean, the salt content, okay, salt content will be high. So that is the content of salt in ocean water is 35 parts per thousand. 35 parts per thousand, which means 3.5%. 3.5% of salt. Okay, 3.5% of salt diluted in ocean water. Diluted in ocean water. 3.5% of salt diluted in ocean water. So salt is sodium chloride. Salt is sodium chloride. The chemical name of salt is sodium chloride. So the fresh water, what we are consuming, okay, the salt content of fresh water is about 0.2%. Okay, about 0.2%. Then let me see the biosphere. If biosphere we are talking, so all the flora and fauna, all the flora and fauna of present in the earth. In the earth is called as biosphere. So it is around 10 kilometer. Okay, so 10 kilometer from the earth. From the earth. So the upward direction, if you see, up to 10 kilometer we can find flora and fauna. Okay, we can find flora and fauna. So in case of ocean, so in the depth of if you are vertically cross sectioning our earth means, so up to 35 feet, up to 35 in ocean layer, so up to 35 feet we can find flora and fauna. We can find flora and fauna. Okay, so in case of earth surface, we can see up to 23,000 feet. Up to 23,000 feet, we can find the flora and fauna. Okay, it may be the bigger elephant or dolphin or whale. Okay, such big animals, as well as the bacteria. So prokaryotic cells like single cell organisms. Okay, we can find various ranges of flora and fauna. Okay, various sizes of flora and fauna in our earth. Okay, which all this contains the biosphere. Biosphere means all the flora and fauna is included. Okay, so from the earth, so if you are seeing upward direction, you can find 10 kilometer. So in so downward direction, we can find in ocean up to 35 feet. We can find here organisms. In case of earth or land surface, up to 23,000 feet, we can see the flora or fauna, any organisms, living organisms. So this is the layers of atmosphere. What we have seen, the atmosphere. Okay, the gases around the earth. So here the atmosphere is also classified into nearly 6 layers. Okay, 5 or 6 layers. So first one is troposphere, then second one is stratosphere, mesosphere. So then after that mesosphere, we can find the ionosphere. Then after that ionosphere, thermosphere. So few people, they may classify that ionosphere into that thermosphere itself. So after that thermosphere, we can find exosphere. We can find the exosphere. Okay, troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, ionosphere, thermosphere, and exosphere. So these are all the layers. These are all the layers of atmosphere. So first one, troposphere. First one is troposphere. Okay, so almost the 70% of the atmospheric mass. Mass means weight. Okay, so mass, weight. So almost the 70% of the atmospheric masses are present in troposphere layer. So troposphere layer is the first layer of atmosphere. Okay, that is the so lower layer of atmosphere. That is the lower layer of atmosphere. So in this layer, all the living organisms we can find the biotic. Okay, biotic living organisms are present in this layer, troposphere layer. Okay, so this layer is around the altitude means height. Okay, so which can be measured by mean sea level. Okay, mean sea level MSL, mean sea level. So altitude, which means height from the sea level, height from the sea level. So that is called as altitude. So altitude of 0 to 10 kilometers. So sometimes it will be up to 15 kilometers. Okay, 0 to 10. So the up to 15 also in few books we can refer. So the density decreases with altitude. Okay, so already we have seen the mass, atmospheric mass. 70% of the atmospheric mass present in troposphere layer, but the density of the atmospheric gases decreases with altitude. If altitude increases, the density of air is decreasing. Okay, so this is the cold layer. So cold layer means the top of troposphere. Top of troposphere. Uh, the top of troposphere, the temperature ranges minus 56 degrees Celsius. Minus 56 degrees Celsius. Okay. So the temperature is in inversion rate. Inversion rate means if the height is increasing, temperature is decreasing. Okay, inversion rate. Temperature inversion rate. So in other word we can say as lapse rate. LAPSE, lapse rate. Lapse rate means so if the altitude is increasing, temperature is decreasing. Okay, if you are visiting to the hill station, there the altitude is very high. The mean sea level. Okay, the mean sea level from the ground level to the top, it may be the 3000 kilometers. So likewise, 1200 kilometers. So likewise. Okay, so there if you are reaching to the hill station upper area, so the temperature is very low. Okay, very low, like 5 degrees Celsius. In few places like in Himalaya and all, it is in negative range. Negative range. Okay, so likewise, so that is called as lapse rate. Okay, if the temperature is the altitude or height is increasing, the temperature is decreasing. So that is called as lapse rate. Okay, so that is temperature inversion. Temperature inversion. So then here we can find the air movements, strong air movements, then cloud formations also we can find in this layer, troposphere layer. So nowadays the problem related with climatic changes. Because of climatic changes, so we are observing acid rain in few places. So what is acid rain? How it is forming? So like we see in our later slides. So here troposphere. Okay, here the conventional aviation activity. Okay, the flight. So the all conventional aviation activities, then propeller driven aircraft. So these activities common in this troposphere layer. Okay. So now let me see the gas. Okay, gaseous composition of troposphere layer. Here we are talking about troposphere layer because 70% of the atmospheric masses are present in only troposphere layer. Okay, the rest of the 30% only spread. So up to exosphere layer. So here the major component of our air is nitrogen. Air is nitrogen. Okay. So they may ask the question as keep it in order. Okay. So they may give the gas name like nitrogen, oxygen, argon, or methane. So likewise they may give the list. Okay, so according to the composition, according to the proportion, you please keep it in order. So likewise, they may ask question with this slide. So please note this. So nitrogen composition of air is atmospheric air. We are talking about troposphere. Atmospheric air is 78%. Okay. So then the oxygen range 20.9%. Then the organ gases around 1%. So 0.9% or 1% people used to take. Then carbon dioxide range is just 0.03% only. Okay, just 0.03% only. If this range is increasing, so that is we are calling as global warming. Global warming, greenhouse effects. So all these things we are talking. So carbon dioxide range is just 0.03% only. Okay, so the other gases range is 0.17%. So what are all those other gases? The neon, helium, methane, krypton, nitrous oxide, hydrogen, xenon, ozone. So ozone also one of the already we have seen. So ozone, methane, these gases are nitrous oxide. These gases are greenhouse gases. These gases are carbon dioxide, helium, methane, so nitrous oxide, ozone. These gases are greenhouse gases. These gases are greenhouse gases. These gases are influencing global warming. Influencing global warming. So what is global warming and all? Let me see. This is the composition of air. Then we are moving to stratosphere. We are moving to stratosphere. So this is the second layer of atmosphere. Stratosphere is a second layer of atmosphere. Here the important, this is the important layer. Why? Because here the ozone. Okay, ozone is present in this layer. Ozone is present in this layer. Okay, so the chemical symbol of ozone gas is O3. Okay, so oxygen is O2, ozone is O3. Because of photochemical reaction, the oxygen molecules, O2 molecules are disformed, and the atomic oxygen O, okay, it is separated as the O2 jointly, the two atoms of oxygen is joined together and it forms oxygen. Okay, so that gas we are inhaling. So because of photochemical reaction, it is separated, okay, dissolved. So it is forming single O. Okay, so it is divided, split up into two oxygen ions, two oxygen atoms. So those two oxygen atoms, so that oxygen atom is combined with O2 oxygen and it forming O3. Okay, so O3 is the ozone chemical form. Okay, so altitude of stratosphere is 10 kilometer to 60 kilometers. The thickness of stratosphere is around 50 kilometer. So in few books 15 to 50 kilometers also people used to write. So then layer of sulfates is present in stratosphere layer. The layer of ozone, then layer of sulfate is present in stratosphere layer. So the layer of sulfate is the responsible for forming rain. Okay, so cloud formation, you can observe the cloud. You can observe the clouds in troposphere layer. Then so the stratopass, like stratopass, track in troposphere, the tropopass. Okay, tropopass is dividing troposphere and stratosphere. Okay, here the stratopass is dividing or separating stratosphere from mesosphere. Stratosphere from mesosphere separated by stratopass. The tropopass is separating stratosphere and troposphere. So here we can, the stratosphere can be accessed by jet power aircraft. The stratosphere is accessed by jet power aircraft. Then we are moving to mesosphere. The mesosphere altitude means height of mesosphere from our Earth surface. From our Earth surface is 60 to 100 kilometers. 60 to 100 kilometers. Here the lapse rate. Lapse rate means if height increases, the temperature, air temperature. Here we are talking about air temperature. Okay, air temperature will decreases. So the lapse rate is negative here, negative here. Here the temperature also increasing when height also increasing. Okay, so when height also increasing. So the lapse rate is negative in mesosphere. This is the third layer. This is the third layer of atmosphere. The mesosphere is a third layer of atmosphere. The temperature reaches minimum of minus 95 degrees Celsius at mesopause. So in mesopause, the mesopause is a layer which separates mesosphere and thermosphere. Mesosphere and thermosphere. Okay, so that is mesopause. So on mesopause area, we can observe the minimum temperature of minus 95 degrees Celsius. So the mesosphere is also the layer where most meteors, okay, so meteors born up and upon atmospheric entrance upon like asteroids. You may study about asteroids, okay, asteroids, meteors. So these are all the ericircle. In Tamil we can see ericircle. So those asteroids we can observe in this mesosphere layer. Asteroids we can observe in this mesosphere layer. Okay, so this is the atmospheric entrance for these meteors. The accessible to jet powered. We can access this mesosphere by jet powered aircraft and balloons. Jet powered aircraft and balloons. Then and to permit orbital spacecraft. The in because of this orbital spacecraft. So this is the lower level of orbital spacecraft we can permit in this. So the atmosphere again in case of orbital spacecraft we can classify into three cadre. That is, first one is low orbital spacecraft. The second one is medium orbital spacecraft. Then geometry orbital spacecraft. So that is the upper level, like where the International Space Research Station is located. Okay, that is geometry orbital spacecraft. So this is the mesosphere is the low orbital spacecraft we can permit. So then the mesosphere can be accessed by rockets, then rocket powered aircraft. Okay, if you want to reach the mesosphere, you have to go by rockets or rocket powered aircraft. Okay, so rockets or rocket powered aircrafts we can access. Then we are moving to thermosphere. So thermosphere is in the altitude of 100 kilometer to 700 kilometer. Okay, so this is the upper zone of thermosphere. Okay, so in upper zone of thermosphere, so the ionization of oxygen molecules are happening. Ionization of oxygen molecules, O2 molecules are happening. Okay, so that's why the upper portion of thermosphere is called as the ionosphere. The upper portion of thermosphere is called as ionosphere. The radio waves. Okay, what we are hearing now, we are talking in one part of Madurai. You people are hearing in somewhere, wherever you are in this world, you can hear. Okay, this is because of this ionosphere layer. Okay, the radio station, then the TV station. So the satellites are observing these ions, and they are disseminating to other parts. Okay, so this ionization is happening in this ionosphere layer. Okay, the radio station. So then the TV station, all these stations is operating via this ionization process. So here the temperature increases with height. The temperature range is minus 1200 degrees Celsius. 1200 degree Celsius. Okay. So the thermopass here, the thermosphere is separated from exosphere by thermopass. Okay, thermopass. So it is otherwise called as exobase. Exobase, because this is the base for exosphere. This is the base for exosphere. That's why it is referred as exobase. So here we couldn't observe any cloud. We couldn't observe any cloud. Okay, so free of water vapor. So up to mesosphere we can observe, we can see some gas substances. Okay, in thermosphere we couldn't find any clouds. Then it is free of water vapor too. If water vapor is there means we can find cloud. So here cloud also not there, then water vapor too. Then the International Space Station orbit. Okay, the International Space Station orbit in this layer. The International Space Station orbit present in this layer, in thermosphere layer, between the range of 350 to 420 kilometer. Okay, 350 and 420 kilometer, or 220 to 260 miles. 260 miles. The International Space Station orbit located in thermosphere layer. So now we are moving to exosphere. Okay, so it is from the exobase or thermopass or exobase. This is the extremely outer layer of our atmosphere. Extremely outer layer of our atmosphere. Okay, so layer, it merges with the outer space. Okay, so here the range. The range of exosphere starts from 700 kilometer to 10,000 kilometer. So 700 kilometer to 10,000 kilometer. Here, the low density of hydrogen, helium, and several heavier molecules, including nitrogen, oxygen, and carbon dioxide, we can see. Okay, here in this layer. So in thermosphere layer, we didn't see any cloud or water vapor too, but in exosphere layer, so the low density ions are gases like hydrogen and helium, as well as several heavier molecules, heavier gases, including nitrogen, oxygen, and carbon dioxide, we can see in this exosphere layer. Okay, so most of satellites orbiting, so whatever the satellites are orbiting around the earth is located in this sphere, in this exosphere. Okay, our international research station was located at thermosphere. So most of the satellites orbiting earth, okay, is situated in exosphere. So this is the atmosphere. You please imagine we are at earth. So around us what is happening. So you please imagine. Okay, so in science subject, whatever you are studying, you have to study with the figures. You have to study with the pictures. Then only you can remember. Then only you can easily remember. So if you forget an example also, these pictures will come in your mind. So you can easily access the answer. Okay. So whatever you are studying in science subject, you please study with picture. So you please imagine. So this is the earth. So we are in earth. So around us, what are the layers are there? So you just please imagine it. Now we are moving to hydrosphere. We are moving to hydrosphere. Already we have seen. So nearly 75% of the earth surface was covered by hydrosphere layer. Okay, hydrosphere or water, covered by water. So on that 75%, if you see, the salt water almost occupies 97.5%. Okay, so if you see the hydrosphere, if you take the hydrosphere layer, you can find the salt water. Okay, the salt water means in ozone. Ozone is covered around 97.5% of the water content was covered by salt water ocean. The fresh water, okay, fresh water, what we are consuming for domestic purpose. So what we are using, those fresh water range is just 2.5%. It's just 2.5%. Okay. If you classify this 2.5% fresh water, so what are the sources? In what are the sources it is available means, if you see in lakes and rivers, it is 0.3%. The freshwater content 2.5%. If you take this freshwater content 2.5% and convert into 100% means the lake and river which occupies just 0.3%. Then the groundwater, okay, groundwater is 30.8%. 30.8%. So that is also we are exploiting. We are exploiting lot. Okay, so the groundwater level of our Tamil Nadu or India, it's going up to 1,000 feet, up to 1,000 feet. So we are exploiting that groundwater also. We are taking out the water, but we fail to recharge. We fail to recharge the groundwater level. Okay, so whatever the rainfall is coming, so we are failing to recharge the groundwater. So that is also the major local issue we could see. Then the rest of around 68.9% of the fresh water, okay, the around 68.9% of fresh water locked in glaciers, locked in glaciers. Okay, so we cannot use these 68.9% of fresh water. Okay, so merely 31% of the water only we can merely out in around in fresh water 2.5%, we can use only 31% of the water. Okay, so rest of 68.9% of water already locked in glacier form, already locked in glacier form. Now we are moving to lithosphere. Now we are moving to lithosphere. Lithosphere is nothing but solid earth surface. Solid earth surface. Okay, solid earth surface is called as lithosphere. Lithosphere. Okay, so this figure shows the vertical cross-sectional display. Vertical cross-sectional display of earth. Okay, so vertical cross-sectional display of earth. The first layer. Okay, so if you see the first layer, the lithosphere. So first layer of lithosphere is crust. Okay, first layer of lithosphere is called as crust. What we are seeing as a topography. As a topography, what we are seeing. So that is crust. Okay, which has soil, rock, mountain. So these things comes as a first layer, that is crust of lithosphere. Okay, lithosphere means solid substance of earth. Solid substance of earth. So the thickness of crust is 0 to 100 kilometer. Thickness of crust is 0 to 100 kilometer. 0 to 100 kilometer, the thickness of earth. Okay, crust. Thickness of crust is 0 to 100 kilometer. So this crust has the major element of silicon and aluminium. So that is seal layer. That is called as seal layer. So that is called as seal layer. SiAl. Silicon means the chemical symbol for silicon Si. Then the aluminium means Al. Okay, that is called as SiAl. Seal layer. Crust has two layers. So the first layer is seal layer. Okay, SiAl, seal layer, silicon plus aluminium. So other elements also there in earth crust, but the major composition is these two, the silicon and aluminium. Then the second layer is silicon and magnesium. Okay, so SEMA layer, that is silicon and magnesium. SEMA. CMA layer. Okay, so silicon and magnesium, that is CMA layer. So the crust has these three major elements. Okay, magnesium, silicon, and aluminum. So the thickness of crust, thickness of lithosphere is 0 to 100 kilometer. So we can get the question in whatever the form we can get. So you please, if you know clearly about this picture, if you clearly mind mapping this picture into your mind means you can easily answer all the questions. Okay, so you just start mind mapping of this picture into your mind. So then we are moving to the mantle. Okay. So the mantle is again classified into two spheres. That is asthenosphere, then mesosphere. Okay, asthenosphere and mesosphere. The mantle is again classified into asthenosphere and mesosphere. Okay, so the height of in depth. Okay, the depth of mantle is from 100 kilometer to 2,900 kilometer. Okay, the depth of mantle from the earth surface is 100 kilometer to 2,900 kilometer. Okay, then the innermost layer is core. The innermost layer is core, C-O-R-E, core. Okay, so the core again is classified into outer core and inner core. Outer core and inner core. Okay, if you see the outer core status, so which is liquid. Okay, which is liquid in stage, which is liquid in stage. So if you see the inner core, that is solid in nature. Okay, so this is very important and confused status also. So the inner core is solid. Inner core is solid matter. But in case of outer core, that is liquid matter. The outer core is range from 2,900 kilometer to 5,100 kilometer. 2,900 kilometer to 5,100 kilometers. So that is outer core range. Okay, outer core range. So that solid condition, inner core matter is solid in nature. Okay, that is thick in nature. So, but in case of outer core, that is liquid in stage. Now we are moving to, so this related with the lithosphere, the soil classification. Okay, soil classification based on particle size. I hope in December 2018 they have asked this question. Okay, keep it in order. They have asked. They have given the clay, silt, sand, and gravel. Okay, so these are all the types of soil. These are all the types of soil. So they have asked keep it in order. Okay, from ascending order or descending order, whatever it may be. They have asked. So clay is a very minute particle, soil particle. Okay, very minute soil particle is clay. Okay, clay. So the minimum size is my, so 0 to 0.002 mm. Okay, mm means millimeter. No, so it is very minute particle. Okay, minute particle. That's why it can easily, the clay soil. Okay, if you are seeing the black color soil or clay soil where the paddy field. Okay, we can cultivate the paddy, banana. So these crops in this clay soil. So we cannot go for vegetables. Why? Because the water holding capacity of clay soil is very high. If you get rainfall, frequent rainfall, so the seepage means the water, excess water will stagnate on the clay itself. Okay, here the space between the soil particle is very low. Between air space between the soil particle is very low. But in case of sand it is bigger in size. So we cannot find the water stagnation in sandy soil. Okay, we cannot find the water stagnation. If you go to the seashore, you cannot find the water stagnation at see what like in clay soil we cannot observe. Okay, whatever the water is pouring onto the sand, so it will immediately filter, and it will go inner part of sandy soil. Okay, silt is a medium level soil. This is suitable for vegetable cultivation, vegetable, fruits, and all orchard crops, horticultural crops. We can go with this silt soil. Okay, silt soil. So the silt soil size is 0.0022 to 0.063 mm. 63 mm. So we cannot cultivate any crop in sand. Okay, so the nursery crops, like if I want to raise a nursery for tomato, nursery for any like jasmine nursery. So those type of nursery we can go for this sand with mixture of some organic matter. Mixture of some organic matter we can go. Okay, but the main cultivation we cannot go with this sandy soil. Okay, the gravel size is 2 mm to 63 mm. 2 mm to 63 mm. That is the gravel size. That is the bigger size stones. So bigger size stones. So that is gravel. So that size is 2 mm to 63 mm. 63 mm diameter we are talking. So this is the dia of soil particle. So the very minute particle is clay. Very minute particle is clay, that maximum of 0.002 mm. So this is the soil classification according to the particle size. So now we are moving to the biosphere. Okay, we are moving to the biosphere. So already we have seen from the earth. So okay, if you are seeing the upward movement up to 10 kilometer, we can find the living organisms. We can find the living, either flora or fauna. Either flora or fauna we can find. Okay, whether it may be the single cell or multiple cell, eukaryotic or prokaryotic. Okay, so prokaryotic means single cell organisms. Eukaryotic means that is EUKARYOTIC. Okay, eukaryotic. So eukaryotic means that is the bigger multiple cell organisms like human being, tree. So these are all the eukaryotic things, fishes. So prokaryotic means bacteria, so fungi. So these things are prokaryotic. Prokaryotic means single cell organisms. Single cell organisms. So these are all the biosphere. What are all the flora and fauna present in the aquatic system as well as in the land. Okay, in the earth surface, what are the flora and fauna are living organisms, organisms present in the earth is called as biosphere. So that is called as biosphere. Now we are moving to the anthropogenic activities. Anthropogenic activities and their impact on environment. Okay, so first we have seen about, so up to now we have seen what is environment. Okay, what is environment? Environment is constituted with 4 spheres, that is lithosphere, hydrosphere, atmosphere and biosphere. Now we are going to the anthropogenic activities. Anthropogenic activities means the effect or object resulting from the human activities. Because of us, what is happening in the nature, in the earth. Because of our activity, human activities, what are all the effect or what are all the objects are resulting, is what are the things happening because of our activity, that is anthropogenic activities. Okay, so the term anthropogenic, so first used by the Russian geologist, so Alexei Pavlov. So Alexei Pavlov was the first person, Russian geologist. He used this term anthropogenic activity. So then, so the British ecologist Arthur Tansley, so he has combined the human influence. He has combined the human influence on climax plant communities. So how we are influencing the climate as well as the other earth communities. So that was defined by the British ecologist Arthur Tansley. Okay, so the pollution emission. So this is one of the example of anthropogenic activity. The pollution emission is one of the example for anthropogenic activity. Okay, so we are the major person. We are the major person impacting the environment. Okay, we are impacting the environment. What we are doing? Let me see that. So these are all the causes. These are all the causes because of anthropogenic activity. Okay, these are all the causes because of anthropogenic activity. So first one is deforestation. First one is deforestation. Deforestation means we are removing the forest. We are removing the forest area and we are converting the forest area into the tea estates. Okay, we are converting almost the maximum of forest area and converting into the tea estates. So that is one of the deforestation process. Because of various purposes, we are removing the forest area. We are removing the forest area. Okay, so this is deforestation. Then fossil fuel consumption. Fossil fuel consumption. The petrol and petroleum products. Petrol and petroleum products. So what we are consuming, okay, what we are the petrol, diesel, so lignite, so all these things comes under fossil fuel consumption. Okay, then urbanization. Because of urbanization, we are occupying all rural areas and converting the agricultural land into the plots. So because of this urbanization, the cultivable area is reducing. Cultivable area is reducing. Okay. So forced, we are forced to go for vertical gardening. Okay, go for vertical gardening. Now we are forced to go for vertical gardening because of this huge urbanization. Then land, land reclamation. Land reclamation. Because of our influence. Because of our influence, dumping dumping untreated solid waste, untreated solid and liquid waste into the land. So because of that, the land is polluting and the land is getting eroded. Okay, eroded their own nature, and nutritional availability of land is also getting reduced. So these are all the causes. These are all the causes because of our anthropogenic activities. Then agricultural intensification, like we have the green revolution. Okay, so the green revolution. Father of green revolution in India is M.S. Swaminathan. So father of green revolution in world is Norman. In world is Norman. So because of agricultural intensification due to the higher population rate, we are forced to harvest the huge amount of rice or wheat or any other product. For that, we are unnecessarily dumping the fertilizers, inorganic fertilizers and pesticides in the land because of this agricultural intensification. Okay, so this is also the major reason we are eroding our environment. So then freshwater extraction. Freshwater extraction. Already we have seen. So around nearly 31% of the freshwater only available. So in freshwater, so in general, so 2.5% percent only the freshwater availability in earth. On that, from the 22.5%, only 31% only available for our consumption and domestic purposes. So from that, the freshwater extraction is so high. Okay, we are exploiting the groundwater level. So the major sector, which one is consuming the higher range of fresh water means the answer is agriculture. Nearly 75% to 80% of the fresh water is consumed for the purpose of agriculture, not for industry. Okay, you please note this. So the fresh water consumption high for agriculture purpose, not for industrial purposes. The industries are polluting, but the consumption for the agriculture purpose is high. Then the fisheries over exploitation, so waste production, so all these things because of our anthropogenic activities, we are doing all these things for the welfare of human being, not for the earth. So this is global warming. This is global warming. What is global warming? Okay. What is global warming means? The gradual increase in the earth temperature. The gradual increase in the earth temperature. So the greenhouse gases, what we have seen, the greenhouse gases we have seen, no? So what are those greenhouse gases? So methane,
Absolutely,
nitrous
methane.
oxide. Yes, yes, ma'am.
No, just I was telling methane and so on.
Yes, yes, please. Yes, correct, ma'am. So methane and what? Ozone, carbon dioxide, nitrous oxide. So these are all the greenhouse gases. Okay, so these are all the greenhouse gases. So already we have seen the carbon dioxide, proportion of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere is just 0.03%, just 0.003%. That is very meager only. Okay, so if that carbon dioxide range is increasing means what will happening? So these are all the impact, okay, because of the global warming, because of the greenhouse effect. What is happening? So warmer atmosphere and ocean, so rising sea level. So why? Because the sea level is rising because of melting of glaciers. So melting of polar ice caps, so more flooding in coastal areas, expansion of deserts in the subtropics, so more extreme weather events, so ozone acidification, extinction of animal and plant species, so food security threat for human beings. All these things are happening because of global warming, so this is the greenhouse effect, what it is happening. Okay, so from the solar, you please observe this picture from the solar. So the solar energy, okay, solar energy, the heat is coming towards our earth, okay, towards our earth. So it is coming, so from, so our earth is reflecting the solar energy, okay, from our atmosphere itself. Why? How? Because we are having ozone layer at our stratosphere. Our stratosphere, we are having ozone layer, no? So it is reflecting the UV rays again towards the sunlight, again towards the sun, okay, again towards the sun. So this process, that reflection process, is affected because of increasing the level of greenhouse gases. Increasing the level of greenhouse gases. So the sunlight, whatever coming towards the earth, is absorbed by our atmosphere itself. Because of that absorption, the temperature level of air is increasing. The air is increasing. So because of increasing the temperature level, so these are all the impacts, these are all the things are happening. Why? Because the increasing the level of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. So this is the main reason. Okay, not only the carbon dioxide, the other gases also, but the major proportion is carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is the major proportion. So the carbon dioxide, how it is emerging. How it is emerging means it is because of the burning of fossil fuels. It is burning of fossil fuel. The carbon dioxide level is increasing. So fossil fuel already we have seen. What is fossil fuel? The petrol and petroleum products. Petrol and petroleum products. Then the forest, the carbon dioxide will be absorbed by the major source of ozone. Okay, ozone is the major reservoir which absorbs carbon dioxide level from the air. Okay, so this is also the important question they have asked already in our UGC question. Okay, so the major reservoir of carbon dioxide in the earth is ozone. So this is important point. This is important point. Okay. So because of this increased level of carbon dioxide, what is happening? Increased level of carbon dioxide. So the ozone layer is thinning. Thinning of ozone layer is happening, as well as at the same time, the atmospheric air. Okay. So whatever the sun energy is coming from the sun, it is all the sun are absorbed here itself. Okay, so the earth or the ozone layer, it cannot able to reflect, as much as the sunlight. So that's why the atmospheric temperature is increasing. So that is meaning of greenhouse effect or global warming. So the temperature of our earth is increasing day by day. Okay, day by day it is increasing like 2%. So likewise it is increasing. Because of that, most of climatic changes are happening. If you see, we cannot get on time we cannot get. So this, so the temperature range also increasing. These are all happening because of this greenhouse effect. Okay. So we are again we are doing. So this is ozone acidification. Okay, already we have seen ozone acidification. So already we have told about the major reservoir of carbon dioxide. Was is ozone. Okay, ozone is the major reservoir of the carbon dioxide. If you see this figure, okay, so the pH level of ozone. pH level of ozone is 8.3. Around 8.3. Okay, so it will be from 8.27 to 8.3. That is the pH level. Okay, so pH level means, so this is the pH. Okay, so this is the pH of, different acids and whatever we are using the things. So acidic pH means 0 to 7. Okay, so the hydrogen value. Okay, the pH means hydrogen value. So the pH range neutral means 7. So neutral is 7. Acidic pH means, so less than 7 is acidic pH, more than 7 means that is basic or alkaline. So that, in other word, used to tell alkaline. So this is the scale. For pH. So 7 is the neutral pH. So our pure water, what we are consuming water, that is pH of 7. Okay. So that is not a acidic pH or alkaline pH. So acidic pH, neutral pH, basic or alkaline. Okay, basic or alkaline. So the ammonia, milk of magnesia. So milk of magnesia means that is nothing but what we are consuming for our ulcer purpose. The pink color medicine people are giving, no, so that is milk of magnesia. Because of hydrochloric acid, HCl is present in our digestive system. Okay, in our digestive system to digest our food. If the acidic range, the hydrochloric acid range is increasing means, so we are getting ulcer problem. So to avoid that, So for the want of increasing the pH, so the doctors are recommending the milk of magnesia, gelusil. We used to take the gelusil medicine, either a tablet or the syrup. Okay, so that is milk of magnesia. That pH is 10. If the acid pH is increasing, means if you are giving the alkaline or basic pH, so the pH will come into the neutral. Okay, so will increase. So for that purpose, people are recommending milk of magnesia. That is gelusil, nothing but gelusil. Gelusil pH is pH 10. Okay, so the acid rain pH is pH of 4. pH of 4. The juice sulfuric acid. Okay, so the sulfuric acid is the king of acid. King of acid is sulfuric acid. Okay, the king of acid is sulfuric acid. That is very severe acidic nature. That is, so that pH is 1. That pH is 1. Okay, so the lemon juice, vinegar and all pH of 7. So those are all the acidic pH. Okay, so if the pH range, okay, will reach 4.2, 4.2 in the ocean, means all the fish, they cannot alive, they used to die. Okay, so the same case for frogs, crayfishes, what is the status they have given in this. Okay, so the baking soda pH, what it is. So like this, the bleach, liquid rain cleaner. So what is the pH range? So they have given this. You can refer this also. The clean rain pH is 5.6. 5.6. So here we have to see what is neutral. Neutral means 7. Neutral means 7. 7. Neutral pH means 7. So that is the normal pH. Then if you go to the acidic pH, less than 7 is acidic pH, more than 7 is basic. Basic or alkaline. Basic or otherwise called as alkaline. So alkaline pH. Okay. So here by using this, actually the ocean contains, already we have seen 3.5% of diluted salt. Okay. So it has alkaline pH. Okay. So the ocean has a alkaline pH. The pH range is 8.27. 8.27. Okay. 8.27. So because of increased carbon dioxide level in the atmosphere, you please note this, the first box. Okay, the first box given, no, so you please note that. So because of atmospheric carbon dioxide, increased level of atmospheric carbon dioxide, the ocean is a reservoir for all the carbon dioxide, the maximum carbon dioxide in air. So it is observing the excess carbon dioxide. Okay, so those carbon dioxide is dissolving in. So carbon dioxide, the chemical symbol is CO2. CO2 is a chemical symbol for carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide. Dioxide means 2 oxide ion plus carbon ion 1. Okay, so carbon dioxide. So it is dissolved. Those carbon dioxide is dissolved in ocean water. So the water chemical symbol is H2O. The water chemical symbol is H2O. So which produce carbonic acid. Carbonic acid, which produce carbonic acid. So because of the increased level of this carbonic acid, the ocean alkaline range is reducing. The ocean alkaline range is reducing. So alkaline range is reducing means what it is? So ocean is getting acidifying. So ocean is getting acidifying. So acidification, ocean acidification, which means ocean acidification is happening. Okay. So the alkaline range is getting reduced. Okay. If you see what is the reduced level at present means from 8.272, now the range is 8.14. Okay, 8.14 to 15. Now the range, because of industrialization, because of excess fossil fuel consumption. So all these things, whatever we are seeing, because of that, the greenhouse gases are increased in atmosphere. So the increased greenhouse gases was absorbed by the ozone. So the ozone is getting acidification. Because of that acidification, carbonic acid is released. So that level is increased. Because of this carbonic acid level increasing, okay, the cells or the aquatic living organisms, okay, the fishes, so whatever the reefs, coral reefs, okay, so coral reefs also getting deteriorated, coral reefs also getting deteriorated. Why? Because of this ozone acidification. Okay, so the deformed cells means the cells is in normal state, okay, but it is deformed. Why? Because of this acidification range. Okay, so this acidification range is very minimum while seeing in number. Okay, but the effect of this ozone acidification is high. It is huge. It is huge. Okay, that's why we are talking about to reduce the fossil fuel consumption as well as afforestation. Afforestation means planting of new forest, promotion of forest. That is afforestation. Deforestation means the removal of forest area. Afforestation means promotion of forest area. Okay, so I hope this is understandable by you. This figure. So this is ozone acidification. So these are all the things happened. Why? Because of anthropogenic activity. Because of anthropogenic activity. So with this continuation of this greenhouse effect. Then habitat. Okay, habitat destruction. Habitat destruction also happened. Already we are replacing. The original habitat into our well-being habitats. Okay, so I need to gain huge money from my hill station, from my hill area. So I am deforesting the all forest area and I am replacing that into tea estate. Okay, so this is one of the habitat destruction, habitat change. So this is the simple example. So likewise, we are doing many things because of our growing population. Because of our growing population, we are doing lot of things. So apart from this tea estate and other things, we are replacing those things into big buildings, okay, industries. So likewise we are destroying, okay, the deforestation has destroyed almost, so 99% of the original temperate forest was replaced, destroyed by us. Okay, the temperate forest was destroyed by us. Then the agriculture has replaced nearly all grasslands in North America. So likewise, many changes are happening. Okay, so the world 98% of the dams, okay, disturbs both aquatic and land ecosystem. Okay, so the dam. Why we are constructing dam? To get frequent and subsequent water to our community for the purpose of consumption or for purpose of domestic purpose or otherwise for agriculture or industrial purpose. Okay, so almost the 48,000 dams constructed all over the world. Okay, so which destructed the original aquatic as well as land ecosystem. So this is true. So these are all the things. These are all the anthropogenic activity. So we are doing for the sake of human well-being. Okay. So this is ozone depletion. Ozone depletion. Okay. Already we have heard about ozone hole. Ozone hole. Okay. So the hole was observed by NASA. But one happy thing is nowadays the ozone layer, okay, they can build, the ozone layer can build themselves if we are don't disturbing that ozone layer. Okay, if we are not disturbing the ozone layer, they can rebuild itself. Ozone layer can itself rebuild. So that is the thing happening now. So this is the unhappy thing now we can observe in case of ocean depletion. Okay, so because of Kyoto Protocol and ISA, so lot of things are happening around to recover the ozone depletion. Around to recover the ozone depletion. Okay, so what is ozone depletion? So the hole means not exactly the hole was happening. Okay, so that is the thinning of layer. Ozone layer was thin. So the thickness of ozone layer was reduced. Reduced. The thickness of ozone layer was reduced. Where it was reduced? The Antarctic and Arctic area as well as in northern Asia. So in this area, the ozone layer was thinning happened. Okay, so it is because of CFC. CFC is a chlorofluorocarbon. Chlorofluorocarbon. It is present in our Earth's surface, in atmospheric air. The chlorofluorocarbon. What we are using nowadays, the air condition. Okay, the air conditioned room. Then the refrigerators. The air conditioned room. Then the refrigerator. So these are all the main source for this chlorofluorocarbon. Okay, so if you are refrigerating or if you are air cooling your single room means you are increasing about 2 degrees Celsius in the atmospheric air. You are increasing 2 degrees Celsius of temperature in the atmospheric air. So please try to avoid these air conditioners. Okay, so nowadays the refrigerators are replaced by fluorocarbons. You please note this. Okay, so the chlorofluorocarbon is the pollutant, air pollutant. Okay, so which affects the ozone layer, nowadays we have replaced the every refrigerator what we are using nowadays. So those refrigerators are replaced by fluorocarbon. That is not a ozone depleting substance. Okay, so that is the substance used against the chlorofluorocarbon. Fluorocarbon is the substitute now we are using in our refrigerator. So this is also an important thing we have to note it. Okay, so because of the plastic foams manufacturers, so all these things are the carbon dioxide, the increased level of carbon dioxide. So all these things are reason for ozone depletion. So these are all the anthropogenic activity what we are doing. So you please try these questions. Okay, so try these questions. So let me discuss about uh, the answer in our later parts. You very good. See, yes, please try. So these questions are already the previous year questions. What we are seeing now. You please. Just now we have talked about the neutral pH pillar. Please try this. Yes, very good, ma'am. Yes, very good. So we move for the second set. Yes, please. Yes, please. Very good. Which of the natural hazards have big effect on Indian people each year? So BB. So we go for the answer. Please note this. Can we check the questions?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. The first question. With absorption and decomposition of carbon dioxide in ocean water beyond desired level, there will be decrease in temperature, increase in salinity, growth of phytoplankton, then rise in sea level. Rise in sea level. Just now we have seen about ocean acidification. Ocean acidification. Okay. If salinity is increasing means what it means? So the alkaline pH is increasing. Alkaline pH is increasing. Is it right? So which means that answer won't come. That answer won't come. Okay. So decrease in temperature also we cannot say. Okay. If the carbon dioxide level, okay, carbon dioxide level is increasing and absorbed by the ocean water means the temperature level will be increasing. So the global warming. That's why we are talking about global warming. So the rise in sea level. Okay. Here we are talking about ocean. Okay, we are not talking about sea. So this answer also it won't come. Okay, the rising sea level will come when the glacier melting. So those the polar caps melting. So on that case, so this will be the answer. But here the question is, so the rising sea level also will come. Okay, but here the answer is with absorption and decomposition of carbon dioxide in ocean water beyond the desired level, beyond the desired level. So that is the question. Okay, so first two you can easily eliminate. You can easily eliminate the answer. But last two, the C and D, so somewhat it is in the confused stage. But the correct answer is growth of phytoplankton. Phytoplankton. Phyto means plant. Phyto means plant. Okay, so phytoplant pathology. Phytopathology. So now the plant pathology name was converted as phytopathology. So phyto means plant. Phyto means plant. Okay, so the growth of phytoplankton. So the growth of plant will happen. Okay, will happen in ocean water. So that is the correct answer. Then arrange column 2 in proper sequence so as to match it with column 1. So neutral pH. Already we have seen neutral means 7. Neutral means 7. So then the moderately acidic. Moderately acidic is 4. Moderately acidic is 4. The alkaline pH. Alkaline pH is 5. Okay, so here alkaline pH is, they have said 5. Injurious is 8. Injurious is 8. So already we have seen the neutral pH is 7. The injurious means more than 7. More than 7 is the basic or alkaline pH. So that is the injurious one. So we can choose this 8. Then the alkaline pH is 5. Alkaline pH is 5. Okay, so it is like from acidic to 0 to it is coming backward. From 0 to it is coming backward. So likewise you have to see. Sometimes they used to confuse by giving like this. So you have to clear in that scale. Okay, so from 0 to 14. So that is the range. 0 to 14 is the range of pH scale. Range of pH scale. So 0 means very acidic, very acidic. So that is also very dangerous. 0 pH also very dangerous. The 14 pH also very dangerous. So the king of acid is sulfuric acid is the king of acid. Okay, so the injurious pH is, so more the 8 is the injurious pH. Okay, so the next one is the maximum emission of pollutants from the fuel source in India is caused because of coal. Because of coal. Okay, so the firewood, refuse burning, so vegetable waste product. So the vegetable waste product and all easily decomposable. Easily decomposable. Okay, so the vegetable waste, it's a solid waste. During our solid waste management, we will see the decomposable one and unable to decomposable one. We can see those things, the plastics. Okay, so the plastic won't decompose. Okay, it will take 300 to 400 years for decomposing the plastic waste. Okay, the plastic carry bags, whatever the plastic what we are using, so the part. Okay, so whatever it may be, chair, all those things. Okay, so those plastic items are cannot decomposable. Okay, so but the vegetable waste product easily decomposed by our in our soil. Okay, so more microorganisms are present in our soil. So those microorganisms easily decompose the vegetable waste, like earthworms. So earthworm is a good example. So earthworm is a friend for farmer. Earthworm is a friend for farmer. So it can easily decompose the vegetable waste. Okay, so the coal is the major major emission pollutant from our India. Okay, so the firewood also we can doubt, but it is only used in the villages for the cooking purpose, but it won't influence that much. Because we are the most of the villages also nowadays converting into LPG gases. Okay, so the clean fuel. They are using the clean fuel for the cooking purpose. So the refuse burning. So it is also won't come. So the coal is the answer for this. Then the tsunami occurs due to strong earthquakes. Okay, so because of the 2004 we got the tsunami. Okay, so it is because of strong earthquakes and landslides in the ocean. So this is the main reason for tsunami. So which of the natural hazard having big effect on Indian people? So it is flood. It is because of flood we are affected. So the natural hazard is cyclone, flood, earthquake, and landslides. Okay, so landslides usually happening in mountains. So mountain area, the landslides usually happen. So Earthquake. Okay, earthquake is also not a big hazard for our India. So flood is the major hazard, major natural hazard. So because of that, our Indian population is affected. So the cyclone is also not a big thing. Okay, so in Assam, the North India, as well as the Mid India, and all, flood is the major issue. Major issue. Okay, so because we are connected with rivers, we are connected with more rivers, maximum rivers. So the India is connected with rivers. Because of those rivers, the flood is frequently happening in India. Then sea level rise results primarily due to melting of glaciers. Already we have seen this. Okay. So heavy rainfall is not a reason at all. Submarine volcanism. So that is also that is also not a major reason. Okay, so sea flow spreading. So the melting of glacier is the important reason. The sea level is rising. Okay, the melting of glaciers, why it is happening? Because of greenhouse effect, because of global warming. So it is happening. The melting of glaciers is happening. Now we are moving to the environmental issues. Environmental issues. Okay. So you may feel this subject is a dry subject. Okay. You may not be in the touch with this subject. So the words, the terminologies, what we are using, you may uh, get little bit confused. Okay, so you please try to revise 2 or 3 times. Okay, so today we are taking this class now. You please try to revise today itself. Then tomorrow and day after tomorrow means you can easily capture all these words. Okay, so easily you can remember. Otherwise, if you are seeing after 10 or 12 days, means you cannot find, you may not get a correct meaning of that particular word. Okay, those words are maybe confused for you. So you please try to revise yourself. So today itself, tomorrow and day after tomorrow, so it will get. So be touch with this subject. So it will be useful for you. So you can able to get the answer nearly out 4 out of 5. Okay, so 4 out of 5 you can get. So please be in touch with this environmental issues. So apart from what we are talking in our class, you please try to read our material also. Read our material also. We have given the local issues. Uh, what is happening, what has happened in India and global level. We have given on that. So please try to read those text also. Okay, so this is environmental issues, and environmental problems occur when changes in quality or quantity of environmental factors. Quality or quantity of environmental factors that directly or indirectly affects everything in the earth. So this is environmental issue. The definition for environmental issue is the problems occur in the transformation or changes, okay, malformation happening in quality or quantity. It may be the quality part of view or quantity part of view. Okay, in environmental factors, what we have seen in lithosphere, biosphere, so all those things, atmosphere we have seen, no? So those things. So it may be directly or indirectly, okay, so which affects everything in the earth. So that is environmental issues. That is environmental issues we have told. So these are all some local environmental issues. So these are all some local environmental issues. So global warming, ozone acidification, then acid rain, ozone depletion, polar melting. So all these things we have seen already. Okay, so what is global warming, ozone acidification? So pollution and acid rain. Let me see in the subsequent slides. So ozone depletion, polar melting also we'll see. Okay, so these are all the local environmental issues. Local environmental issues. Okay, so if you this carbon cycle, so later we will see this carbon cycle what it is. So now we'll move to the acid rain. Okay. So what is acid rain? What is acid rain? So the burning of fossil fuel, such as coal or petroleum and petrol and petroleum products, coal. So all these things are fossil fuels. So other industrial processes releases the air pollutants, So those air pollutants has contains sulfur dioxide and nitrogen dioxide. Okay. So the air pollutants, the major component of air pollutants are sulfur dioxide, then nitrogen dioxide. So these are all the major air pollutants. So these air pollutants, okay, what we are releasing in our atmosphere, okay. So those air pollutants, the sulfur dioxide and nitrogen dioxide, so mix with H2O, which react with chemical reactions happening with H2O. H2O is the chemical symbol of water. Okay. So the water vapor is present in clouds, the atmosphere, in troposphere. In atmosphere, already we have seen in atmosphere, the layer has clouds. Okay, so clouds means water vapor. Cloud is nothing but water vapor. Okay, so the water in the earth surface evaporated because of sunlight, and it made us a clouds. It made a cloud. So those water vapor is chemically reacted with these air pollutants, sulfur dioxide and nitrogen dioxide, and it it produce nitric acid and sulfuric acid. So already we have seen the sulfuric acid is the king of acid. Okay?
Yes.
Yes. So here, because of this chemical reaction, these air pollutant, increased level of air pollutant, so reaches our atmosphere. So the cloud, they are chemically reacting, and the rainfall, okay, what we are getting, that is not a rain, that is acid rain. Okay, so these acids, okay, because of this chemical reaction, the nitric acid content and sulfuric acid content, so the rain is converted as the H2O is converted to the HNO3 and H2SO4, okay, the nitric acid and sulfuric acid. So those chemicals, the mixed chemical, the water is coming through the downpour during rain. So this is acid rain. Okay, so this is acid rain. So what are the impact of this acid rain? Already we have know about all these things. Okay, so what will happen because of acid? What will happen? So we are observing. So because of this sulfuric acid, so what influence we are observing? No, so the person is the person is using for the acid throw and all. So they are using this sulfuric acid only. Okay, so that much affect the skin related problems, cancer. Okay, cancer not only for the human being, which also affects the animal and plant kingdom also. So it is because of this acid rain. So we have seen the local issues. So if you are seeing the local environmental issues, we can see this endangered species. Extincted species are endangered species. Endangered species means, so these species are in risk. These species are under risk. Okay, so the population. So the population of Asian elephant, the snow leopard, Bengal tiger, okay, so mountain gorilla, the black rhino, okay, spider monkey, so giant panda. So these these animals, you please list out this, okay. So note down all these things. So this is also the important slide, okay. So the endangered species means, so it is under risky condition. It is under risky condition, okay. So we are talking about the dinosaurs. Okay. So dinosaurs is one of the animal which was exist in our earth, but it is no more. It is no more now. Okay, it is extincted species. Extincted species means already ruled out. So nothing is there. Okay, so nothing is there in the earth. So likewise, so these species now, these animal species are in risky condition. Okay, we are in the position to improve the population range of these endangered species. Okay, so these species are precious species. We have to save in our earth. Okay, so for that, for the armor leopard, so all these things. Okay, so the African wild dog. So these population are in risky condition. The very minimum. Okay, we can count it by numbers. We can count it by numbers. So that is the status. That is the status now. So we have to improve. So we have to increase these endangered species. Okay, we have to be with us. These species need to be with us. So these are all the endangered species need to concentrate to increase the population. So these are all the species to please note down. So this is also the important slide. So people used to ask. So this is also the important one in case of the environmental issue. So these are all the plant species. These are all the plant species. Like how we are eliminating our animals. Likewise, we are eradicating the plants also. We are eradicating the plants also. So these are all the endangered species of plants. Okay, endangered species of plants. So red sandalwood, Cycas vedomini. So these are all some biopa. Okay, so berberis. So these are all the endangered species of plants. We have to save these plants also. We need to propagate. We need to propagate these plants. So you please note this also. So these are all the extinct birds of the world. Okay, so it is nothing is there. So extinct birds of the world. So you please note this also. Okay, so the Malaysian peacock. So in our Madurai also, in Tempuram Kundram, so people used to tell the white color peacock. White color peacock is present. White color peacock is present in Tempuram Kundram. Okay, but nowadays we are not in the position to observe. Okay, we cannot see the white color peacock. White color peacock in Tempuram Kundram in Madurai we are talking. Okay, so that is also in risky condition. That is also in risky condition. So likewise, so these are all the things. These are all things are happening. Why? Because of anthropogenic activities. Anthropogenic activities. So please note this also. Please note this also. So freshwater scarcity. So the regional and global level environmental issues and all that we see in our next classes. Okay. So the carbon cycle. So let me see this carbon cycle. Already last day we have seen about by using the sunlight. So the trees are absorbing water from earth, and the photosynthesis process is happening. Photosynthesis process is happening. Okay, from that the plant is uptaking the food. Okay, food for their own purpose. So they are consuming. They are producing their food, their own activity. Okay, by through this photosynthesis activity. So in air, the carbon dioxide is in atmosphere we can see the 0.03% of carbon dioxide is there. Okay, so the plant respiration is happening. So in plant respiration means here the carbon dioxide is released by the plant. Carbon dioxide is released by the plant. Why? When during the plant respiration. Okay, the night time the plant used to release release carbon dioxide. The animal respiration and human, we are also releasing carbon dioxide. Okay, so all this carbon dioxide then from the factories, okay, from the factories, industries, then the vehicles, okay, what we are using, all the industries, so they are also releasing the carbon dioxide. Okay, so all these things, the carbon dioxide level is increasing at the atmospheric level. Okay, so already we have seen, so the carbon dioxide, because of the rising carbon dioxide, the ocean is uptaking. The ocean is the reservoir, the biggest reservoir of absorbing carbon dioxide. Okay, so all of us, okay, all the human beings, all the plants, it has carbon ions. Okay, carbon is the carbon dioxide means one part of carbon and two part of oxygen, which contains carbon dioxide is producing, producing. Okay, all of us are having carbon. Okay, so me also having carbon, the table, chair, whatever we are, the wooden chair, we are talking about wooden chair, not a plastic one. So all the living, biotic, all the living organisms has carbon in their body. So if those carbons are decaying, okay, decaying by the organisms or the earthworms likewise. So the fossil fuel, okay, so the fossil fuel are forming. How the fossil fuel are forming? So after the decomposition of these waste, okay, the degradable waste, we are talking about degradable waste. So carbon waste to the human beings, so because of earthquake. So if earthquake is coming means, so the human beings, then the animal, plant, all those things are going under the layer of earth. Okay, so that pressure, heat, all those things, okay, all those things chemically reacted, and it is forming a fossil fuel. Okay, fossil fuels are petrol and petroleum products. Okay, so likewise we are getting petrol and petroleum products. Okay, so the animal kingdom, then plant kingdom, because of natural disaster, natural hazards, so it moving into the layer of the deeper layer of earth. Okay, because of that heat and decomposition process, chemical process, the fossil fuel are forming. Okay, so it will take around 400 to 500 years. 400 to 500 years will take to form a fossils and fossil fuel. Okay, so if you are over exploiting the petroleum and coal products from the earth means we cannot replace immediately those fossil fuels and fossil. Okay, so it will take the time of 400 to 4000 year, 400 to 500 years. So that's why we are going to the renewable energy. Okay, so renewable energy means, so within our life cycle, so within the human being life cycle, it can be renewable, like vegetables. If I am consuming vegetable, I can grow again the vegetable. If sunlight is a renewable energy. So those kind of renewable and unrenewable energy and all will see in our subsequent classes, later classes. Okay, so this is the carbon cycle. Okay, this is the carbon cycle. What we are coming to tell in this means, so the plant also respirating, it is also producing carbon dioxide. Animal also, we are also respiratory, because of this respiratory process we are releasing carbon dioxide. So from the industries also we are releasing carbon dioxide. So increasing carbon dioxide in increasing the range of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. Okay, so it is absorbed by again the ozone as well as the carbons. Okay, so whatever the carbons present in the plant and animal kingdom, so it is moving downward to the earth after 400 to 500 years. So it is because of lot of chemical reaction, the fossil fuel is producing. Okay, fossil fuel is producing. So this is carbon cycle. It's a cycle. Okay, so again we are taking that fossil fuel and we are exploiting that. Then again the carbon dioxide is releasing. So this is the cycle. Okay, this is the cycle. So it's like a one round circle. It is happening. So these are all the things. So the regional and global level environmental issue, let me see in our next classes. So let me stop our class here. If you are having any doubt, we can discuss. Otherwise, if you are having any doubt, please. Stella ma'am and Smrita ma'am.
Ma'am,
Yes, ma'am.
fossil fuels are produced due to petrol and petroleum products. But now it's told that it's due to natural hazards.
Sorry, ma'am, I couldn't understand your question correctly. Please.
See, carbon decomposed things are producing fossil and fossil fuels.
Yes.
But then here petroleum and petroleum products, how does it come? Fossil fuels are due to petroleum and petroleum products, no ma'am?
Now we are talking about that cycle, I think, no ma'am? Correct, ma'am?
Okay, ma'am.
Carbon
Okay.
கார்பன்
Okay,
சைக்கிள்
ma'am.
தானே மேடம் உங்களுக்கு டவுட் வருது இப்போ ஆக்சுவலி நம்ம என்ன பேசணும் ஆக்சுவலி நம்ம என்ன பார்த்தோம் அப்படின்னா யூ ப்ளீஸ் வெயிட் ஓகே ஸோ திஸ் இஸ் ஒன் சைக்கிள் மேடம் இதுல நம்ம என்ன பார்க்குறோம் அப்படின்னா ஸோ கார்பன் டை ஆக்சைடு அப்படின்றது வந்து என்னன்னு பார்த்தோம்னா ஒன் பார்ட் ஆஃப் கார்பன் தென் டூ பார்ட் ஆஃப் ஆக்சிஜன் ஸோ விச் கம்பைன்ஸ் கார்பன் டை ஆக்சைடு ஓகேவாங்க மேடம் ஸோ இந்த கார்பன் டை ஆக்சைடு வந்துட்டு நாம ரிலீஸ் பண்றோம் த்ரூ அவர் ரெஸ்பிரேஷன் ஸோ லைக்வைஸ் ஸோ அனிமல் எல்லாமே வந்து ஆகுது ஓகேங்களா ஸோ அட் த சேம் டைம் வி ஆர் ஆல்சோ ஹேவிங் கார்பன் ஈச் அண்ட் எவ்ரி செல் நம்ம இருக்கோம் இல்லைங்களா நம்மளோட ஹியூமன் பீயிங் ட்ரீ அது எல்லாமே பார்த்தோம் அப்படின்னா ஸோ கார்பன் ஃபுட் பிரிண்டிங் அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவாங்க இப்போ ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள் இஃப் ஐ வாண்ட் டு மெஷர் த ஏஜ் ஆஃப் ட்ரீ இப்போ ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள் 3000 இயர் ஓல்டு 5000 இயர் ஓல்டுலாம் நம்ம வந்து கேள்விப்பட்டிருப்போம் இல்லைங்களா ஸோ எப்படி அவங்க வந்து அதை 5000 இயர் அப்படின்னு கண்டுபிடிக்கிறாங்க அப்படின்னா அந்த வைரம் பாஞ்ச கட்டைன்னு சொல்லுவாங்க இல்லைங்களா ஸோ பை யூசிங் திஸ் கார்பன் ஃபுட் பிரிண்டிங் அப்படிங்கிறது வந்துட்டு ஒரு டெக்னிக் அதை வச்சுதான் வந்து இது 3000 இயர் ஓல்டு ட்ரீ அப்படின்னு சொல்லி நம்ம வந்து டிஃபைன் பண்றோம் ஓகேங்களா ஸோ இந்த மாதிரி எல்லாமே வந்து அந்த நம்மளுக்குள்ளேயும் கார்பன் இருக்கு ஓகேங்களா ஸோ நம்ம என்ன ஆகுறோம் அப்படின்னா இப்ப பிகாஸ் ஆஃப் திஸ் நேச்சுரல் ஹசார்ட் இந்த எர்த்குவைக் அந்த மாதிரி எல்லாம் வரப்ப என்ன ஆகுறோம்னா அந்த பூமி வந்து அப்படியே இதாகும் இல்லைங்களா ஸோ எர்த்குவைக் பத்தி எல்லாமே நம்ம சப்சிக்வெண்ட் கிளாஸஸ் வந்து அது எப்படி வருது அப்படிங்கறத பத்தி நம்ம பார்ப்போம் பிரைமரி வேவ்ஸ் செகண்டரி வேவ்ஸ் அதை பத்தி எல்லாமே நம்ம வந்து பார்ப்போம் ஸோ அப்ப என்ன ஆகும் அப்படின்னா நம்ம அந்த வெர்டிகல் செக்ஷன் பார்த்தோம் இல்லைங்களா பூமியோட வெர்டிகல் செக்ஷன் பார்த்தோம் இல்லைங்களா பூமிக்குள்ளார வந்து நம்ம போயிடுறோம் ஓகேங்களா சோ போயிடுறப்போ
decomposition takes place
எஸ் 400 இயர்ஸ்ல இருந்து ஒரு 500 இயர்ஸ்க்கு அப்புறமா வந்து என்ன ஆகுறோம் அப்படின்னா நாம இந்த டிகேட் ட்ரீ சோ ஹியூமன் பீயிங்ஸ் அனிமல் எல்லாமே என்ன ஆகுது நம்ம எல்லாமே கார்பன் தான் சோ நம்ம இந்த கார்பன் எல்லாமே சேர்ந்து என்னவாகிறோம் ஃபாசில் அண்ட் ஃபாசில் ஃபியூலா மாறிடுறோம் கோலாவும் பெட்ரோல் அண்ட் பெட்ரோலியம் ப்ராடக்டாவும் மாறிடுறோம் சோ அதுக்கப்புறம் எஸ் எகைன் வந்து நம்ம ஹியூமன் பீயிங் என்ன பண்றோம்னா நம்ம அதையே வந்து ஃபாசில் அண்ட் ஃபாசில் ஃபியூல எடுத்து சோ அதை திரும்பவும் வளிமண்டலத்துல வந்து விடுறோம் கார்பன் டை ஆக்சைடா வந்துட்டு அது போகுது ஓகேங்களா சோ எகைன் வந்துட்டு அது சோ இது ஒரு சைக்கிள்
okay understood
cycle so that's why we are talking ma'am
thank you ma'am
yes ma'am so any other doubt in this ma'am actually இது வந்து கொஞ்சம் toughest subject தான் இது people development environment பொறுத்த வரைக்கும் yes ma'am the vast ஏரியாவும் கூட so அவங்க எங்க இருந்து வேணா क्वेश्चंस வந்து கேட்பாங்க so we have to learn as much as possible நம்ம வந்து இப்ப ஸோ கார்பன் சைக்கிள் அப்படிங்கிறதெல்லாம் அவங்க கொடுத்துருக்க மாட்டாங்க நம்மளோட இதுல. பட் we have to study that also. Why?
Okay,
Because
ma'am.
அப்படின்னீங்கன்னா ஸோ இது எல்லாமே பேஸ். If you are knowing the base, so if they are asking any question from out of syllabus
Okay,
also,
easy
you can
answer.
easily answer. So that is the backdrop we are talking all these things, ma'am.
Okay, thank
Okay,
you.
so the few things, it may be, it may not be in our textbook also. So you can refer this. You can refer this material.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Thank you very much.